Hello everyone, welcome to the new video tutorial of Flutter series. I am Rahul Mashari and in today's class we are going to discuss about the buttons in Flutter app. And we are also going to write the code from a beginning. That's just because if there's anyone who don't understand or who have some confusion about writing a code, it will get some ideas about it again. You can assume as a revision of it too. Thanks for being with me in this video till now. Let's go forward and take a look about the buttons in Flutter app. As we know, we have to start a code right from a main function because main function is the entry point of application in Flutter. You can also write like this. Sorry, that's a run app. Here in the run app, we have to pass a material design. Material app. On the material app, we have to pass something about it. Let's make a widget. Let's make a class which is a stateless or stateful, anything you want. For stateless or stateful, you have to write st, and the recommendation shows stful means stateful and stles stateless means a stateless. You can give a name that what you want. I start my flutters. We will scaffold view here returning. So let me declare the app bar first. App bar here it not contain more things. We'll just make it short as we can. Just give a title and make it finished for now. And finish. Start with the body. What's body contain? Body contains the container, column, rows. What you want. For me, we'll make this simple and short. We will go with the columns. Column take a parameter as a column. You can pass the property of children which contains the list of widget under the column. So we are going to declare the first tab button here. It is a flat button. So under the children, let me write the flat buttons. And here you can see there are flat buttons and flat buttons icons. We will discuss about both in this video. Don't worry about it. So go first. We start with the flat buttons. Here are two child property, which is on page and the child. Means you have to provide these two property is must here. Flutter button contains the two essential child property. One is on page, that means the code you write under the on page will come into existence once user press on it. For it you have to declare like this. This is called a function. Under this, here you can declare it will work once user click on this button. Child property can be anything, but for us, we are going to declare here as a text property because we have to show something on our buttons too, like I am a flat button. Let's run the code and see what's happened on the result R. Here is the result R. You can see this our buttons, it's clickable, and when the mouse is over it, it will change the colors of background too. But the flat button don't have a much more modification or customization. So let's do one thing, let's move it on a center, so making more clear thoughts about the buttons. For making the things in a center, we have to do something like that. Column is the column, we can stretch the column according to the cross axis. And take the flat button under the center property. For the make it on a center, you have to click it on here, flat buttons, and you can see there is a bulb icon visible for us. Click on here and put it and select the wrap with center. So this will bring the things on a center for us. Just take a look, just click on a hot reload and take a look what the results are. Here it's come in a center for only in a horizontal panel. Want to take it on a center of the whole screen, means vertically and horizontally both. For making the things, making the button on center in a vertical alignment, we have to write on main axis alignment, main axis element dot center. And let's see what the result is being for us. And here are the result of that code. Flat button, which is the text label we provided to the flat buttons, and it's here on the center of the screen. There is no much more customization for a flat button, so it's enough for here to now. Let's move forward and see what the other buttons are. There is one more thing in a flat button. It's called a flat button dot icon. So let's see what's that. Let's copy the center widget from here to here, paste it after that, and delete these flat buttons, and write here a flat button icon. Here is the option of flat button icon. Click on it, and you can see there is a 3 mandatory or essential property it have. On press button, which we discussed earlier, the things you write here will call once the user press the button. Icons, you can provide any icons here. You can provide icons like this icon, open the bracket and close it. Icons, you have to write it here, and dot settings, and select any icons you want to place it here, and here it is. Labels mean what you want to show. Labels are usually reference a text here, means what you want to show on the screen over the buttons. So you can show anything. It's flat button, flat icon button. So the thing difference between both the flat button and flat button icons is you cannot put the icons and text at the same time here. If you use in icon widget in a child, so you cannot add the text there also. One means, yeah, either you can place the icons, either you can place text at the same time on the same flat buttons. But in a flat buttons icon, you can provide the more things. Let's run the code and see what the results are. So you can see here is the icons and the labels, both are in the flat buttons icon. Now see what's the raised button are in a Flutter. So you go to here, write a child property in a center and select the raised button. Here you can see there are two types of raised button here, raised button dot icon. Let's see one by one what's that. First go with the raised button. Here is a one essential property called on press, but the different we are talking about in respect of a flat button is the raised button you can also customize the attribute on it. On press is here, write something on press means this code will run once you put anything under the on press, it will get run once user press on it. We can do something like we can add the elevations here. Elevations means once you over the mouse or once you click on it, it will increase in a z axis. It's elevation. There's a more elevation I think here. Hover elevation means when you take your mouse, hover the right button over the raised button, it will get increased in elevation. We will take a look at examples. Let's run the code and see. Was that R? And here you can say once we over the mouse, it will extend in a z axis. The elevation will get extended because we provide the too much elevation for it in a mouse hover. You can customize lot of attributes here. Let's see what other attributes are. There क्या Now you can see text colors will change according to the we provided the color section. Text color red, and so here is the red. We can say text is in a red colors. So as we already see, there is one more thing about the raised button dot icons. So it will bring the same result. We can use the icons if we use raised button icons. So it's a homework for you. Try that how it looks in your own computer. That make your mind more clear about the concepts of button that Flutter have. So let's move to the next button, which is known as a floating buttons. Delete that code from here. This is the code from child section. Write the child again because center is also a widget, and you are writing the widget under the widget, and then you must have to declare it as a child widget. So child and the widget are floating action button. Here it is. You can see there is a three options: floating button, extend, large, small, and normal floating action button. Start with the floating action buttons, and here you can see there is a one essential property under the floating action button is on unpressed. So click on it. So make it first on a clickable. Let's write the labels under it. Here is the child option. You can provide child option in the form of icons. We can provide the floating words as icons. Click on a code and let it load. And here the result are. This is the floating button which is clickable for now, and the sharing icon is here. One more thing we need to say, we are declared under the center widget. That's make it on a center of the screen, but normally the floating button is on the right bottom corner of the screen. That is the standard way to put the floating button in our applications. So this is just for the knowledge, and take a look at how we can use the floating button in the Flutter. So I'm just making a center to make it more visible for you. As we discussed about the floating action button, let's see is there any property in a floating action button R or not. If you declare the floating action button in a simple way, like there are 2-3 more options like extended, large, and a small one. So the thing is, in the floating action button, you can provide only icons and on place. We can also change the colors according to our needs. Here with the help of background colors, there's something more attribute here, like hover elevation is here, and the focus colors, focus elevation, foreground colors. These are the options here. You can try each. If you want, you can try by yourself in each property and see what the result make it change, how result make it change by help of this. But here in a floating action button there is just one essential property which is known as onPressed. Let's see the move to move forward and take a look what the floating button action extended are. Copy the center button because I'm super lazy, so I always love to copy and paste the things over the internet. So make it short and clear too. Wrap the center button into the padding or margin, so that will bring some difference, and they will make some space around that and make it more clearly visible from the others. So here is the floating action button. Change it to floating action button. First delete it, so make it clear what the essential properties does it need. Right, floating action buttons, alt and space, so make there something about options are. Let's go with the floating button dot extended. And here you can see there is a two essential property we have got now. One is onPressed, which is earlier we have in a floating action button too, and the others are labels. Labels means you can add the text here as well, which will not possible in this case. That's the use of floating button extended. In extending the size of the floating buttons, you can see the result that will make you more understand. Let's add some labels here. And label would be the name of this, like a floating action button dot extended. So it will make a more sense for us in later this video. Click on a hot reload and see what the results are. And here is it. You can see these are also a floating action button with a which is contain the text also, but in this scenario with the black ones you cannot add the label as a text here. We can add the icons here too. Icons, and you can share a shareable icon, any icon that in list have any icons classes, and that's enough. That's it. Let's reload it and see what the result it begins for us. It will add the icons and a top left corner of the Flutter bar, the floating action button. That is amazing. Let's don't waste more time and make this video. I'm trying to make this video more shorter. So copy the things here. Let's change it here to make it more clear. Floating action button large. Let's see what it is. You can see it will make a large, normal floating button make large now, and there is no more customization. It remains the same in a floating button large and a small and a floating button, but just change. If you put floating button dot large or small or normal floating button, it will just change the size, not in a modification or customization you get more. Only the extend will get some more functionality, added labels and icons both. But in a floating button, small, large, and floating buttons, it have a same customization. Let's run the code and see what the result will bring for us. You can see that it will become a small. This is all about the buttons in Flutter have. There is two more buttons like a drop down and a pop up. We will take a look about this in later of this tutorial. Thanks for being with us. If you like a video, if you think it is helpful for you to understand something about the Flutter, do like the video, subscribe my channel and share it with a friend. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for everything.